In this video, we're going to look at how to find minimum and maximum points of trigonometric functions by using harmonic form. Alright, so the key idea here is that when you've got a trig function expressed in harmonic form, as this is, okay, it's just some stretch of a sine curve that's been translated some amount left and right, it's really easy to find maximum points. The reason is this. I know that sine of anything oscillates between 1 and minus 1. Well, that means that 3 sine x must be oscillating between 3 and minus 3. So I can be certain that the maximum value that this function ever takes is 3. Now, so that's already sorted. Max value of the function is 3. And but what's the x value that gives us that? Well, that's also pretty easy because I know by just thinking about the plain old sine graph that the maximum value occurs here, and if we're in degrees, that's when x equals 90. If we're in radians, it would be pi over 2, but in degrees it's x equals 90, or any shift 360 degrees along. So all I need is the stuff in here to be 90 degrees. So what does x need to be to make this 90? Well, it happens when x is 130, because 130 minus 40 is 90, sine of 90 is 1, and 3 times that is 3. So, the coordinates of the maximum point here is just 133. So, key idea, when you've got your function in harmonic form, it's very easy to spot what the max or indeed min value is. In fact, we can find out what the minimum value is by just thinking that's going to happen when on the normal sine graph, it's when x is 270. So I just need the stuff inside the bracket to be 270. So x better be 310. And when x is 310, the stuff inside the bracket is 270, sine of 270 is minus 1, and 3 times that is minus 3. So no differentiation required, no derivatives equal to 0, no stationary points, just thinking about how big a sine graph gets. Let's have a look at a slightly more complex example. Okay, express root 3 sine x minus cos x in the form r sine x minus alpha, where r is positive and alpha is between 0 and 90. Part B is going to be, given that y equals 5 plus root 3 sine x minus cos x, state the maximum value of y and find the smallest positive value of x where this occurs. Okay, lots of words there, but we'll come back to that in a second. Part A, we're just expressing in harmonic form. So let's do that. I want root 3 sine x minus cos x to be exactly the same as r sine x minus alpha. So we expand the right hand side to get r, and then it's sine a cos b minus, to match the minus here, sine b cos a. Expanded with a little reshuffle, I've got r cos alpha sine x. I just put the alpha bit first to make the next step easier, minus r sine alpha cos x. Now it's comparing coefficients time, so I look at the sine x's first. I've got r cos alpha of them on the right hand side, r cos alpha sine x's, and I've got root 3 of them here, so that's just equal to root 3. Now I'll do the cos x's. I've got minus r sine alpha of them here, minus r sine alpha, and that should be equal to minus 1, because I've got minus 1 cos x over there. Okay, a little bit of neatening up before I do this. Let's just multiply both by minus 1. And now I'll divide, but I'll do this line divided by this, so I get my sine over cos as tan. So the r's cancel, and sine alpha divided by cos alpha is tan alpha. And that's equal to 1 over root 3. And that means, since we're in degrees, that alpha is 30. If you do inverse tan of 1 over root 3, you get 30. And for the r value, well, it's just Pythagoras. R squared equals root 3 squared plus 1 squared. Okay, we've got a negative 1 cos x there. When we solve this, we get 3 plus 1 is 4, and the square root of that, positive square root of that is 2. All right, so I've got my form. My harmonic form is 2 sine of x minus 30. So there it is. Now, let's do part B. Okay, so my function is y equals 5 plus, and then this stuff here, root 3 sine x minus cos x, just is the thing I just expressed in harmonic form. So why don't I just use my harmonic form here, which was 2 sine of x minus 30. Okay, so that is now a form in which I can fairly easily find the maximum point. So it asks for the max value of y and the smallest positive value of x where this occurs. Well, let's just build this up. How big can sine x be, or sine of anything be? The biggest that sine ever is 1. So the biggest that 2 sine of anything is 2. Add 5 to that, and the max value of y is 7. Max y value is 7, and that's because the biggest sine can be as 1, so the biggest 2 sine of something can be as 2, add 5 and it's 7. When does that occur? Well, I need this bit to equal 1, so I can just solve that, right? In solving sine of x minus 30 equals 1, it will tell me when this max value occurs. Well, sine of 90 is 1, so I just need 90 here, and then I need to add 30, and it's 120. Now, of course, I should check that this is the smallest positive value that this is true for, but if I try anything smaller, the previous value where sine x was 1 is minus 270, and that would give me a negative number. So x equals 120 is the smallest positive value of x where this occurs. So harmonic form, useful for solving equations and useful for finding minimums and maximums of functions. In the next video, we're going to look at a much trickier max and min problem that we can solve using harmonic form. See you there.